Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. This is on YouTube channel James 13 Wicca. I'm going to put the dice and the card information below that I'm going to be using for this set. That way you can easily find it. Also, if you're anywhere near Herkimer, New York, I'm offering some live readings if you're interested. That should be below too. I should have added that by now. There's info below on how to get a reading from me on here, and I'll get the email up here too. So if you'd like an email from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. That being said, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Leo? So, there's some type of standard here. There's a standard. A certain level. Things are supposed to stay in a certain place. Things are supposed to stay in a certain place. So, I feel like you've been doing extremely well. Kind of like, all right, it's supposed to stay there. Fine. I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of like, all right, then. Okay. Then it is. Leo is a very active, very changing. I do what I do. I get it done. I don't overthink it. I just get it done. Leos typically are successful because they change direction quick. That doesn't seem like that's working. All right, we're going to do it differently. Leo tends to be successful. I think I've said this before, but one of the reasons Leo is successful is because they try multiple things and they repeat the things that work. That's the way I seem to interpret Leo anyway. And you're very open to new things is also what I've seen. What's going on with the past is a good question. Because I feel like somebody's made a really strong impression on you that whatever this is, as long as this standard is met, it's fine. And you're like, all right. So it's like if you're driving truck, as long as the truck arrives at 4 p.m. at this location, you're fine. So it's kind of like, okay, so if I'm ahead of schedule, I can stop and get the bite to eat. If I'm behind a little bit, I just will skip lunch and get right there. You said as long as it gets there at 4 or whatever time, I'm good. So I do what I need to do. And you've been working with those rules, kind of like there's a certain standard. I just got to meet the standard and it should be fine. And maybe you've been doing it via your own rules. What does that mean? Via your own rules. I don't know, whatever that means for you. Other people do it this way, you do it your own way. Leo does it their own way. I mean, you could try to tell Leo how to do things, and that's fine. Seems to be my opinion. Leo takes it as reference, and it's kind of like, well, if that works out, great, but if I have to do something else to get the success, then that's what I do. I didn't show up to fail, I show up to win. So whatever I need to do to win, that's what I'm going to do. Leo doesn't just show up just to show up either. You show up to win. I keep getting that. Leo shows up to win. And you've done what you had to do in this situation to make that happen. And people have benefited from that. At least up to this point they have. Because I'm getting, like, in the past especially, people love the way you're doing things because they're getting a lot of benefits from it. I keep getting there's something hidden with this, though. There's something, like, not showing up. The way you're doing it, other people don't like the way you're doing it. Or it's kind of like we're trying to keep that away from Leo, so Leo keeps doing it this way because Leo is successful. I mean, with the success. It seems like there's a lack of communication about something, ironically. What are we talking about here? People are getting what they want out of this situation, and people are not telling you something. But there's this in the environment. I keep seeing this. I don't think it's showing up right directly for you in the moment. I feel like it's after the fact. It's almost like, it reminds me of like back in the day, certain people showing up a little bit early for work, working through lunch, and staying a little late, but only clocking in for 8 hours. And the company liked it as long as nobody would complain. But other people who like, they have busier lives, they just can't afford to do that. And they felt like they were getting like, penalized because they weren't, donating 5 or 7 hours to the business. And because they weren't doing that, they weren't getting the promotions or the move aheads, because the people who were basically donating time to the job were the ones moving ahead. And it reminds me of something like that. Like, other people are very unhappy because you're going in a little bit above and beyond, and it's balancing out in the long run, but other people feel like you have an unfair advantage. It seems like that. Like, people are accusing or thinking you have an unfair advantage. So, okay. That's interesting. So it's like benefiting some people, not benefiting others. Other people feel like they feel like you're cheating the system. I don't know that you actually are, but I don't know what's going on though, just to be fair. The 7 of Wands, the 7 of Swords, the 3 of Pentacles, and the Magician reversed. I feel like you just do things the way you do them. Like, I don't, it's like some people feel penalized because you do things the way you do them. Other people feel penalized. Leo is a very dynamic energy. It's kind of like, for me, stepping back and seeing not only 12 different signs of the zodiac, but all the different flavors that each one of those signs can have. Like, you won't find 2 Leos or 2 Capricorns. They won't be the same. Everybody's different. They have their own flavors. You know what I mean? There's rising signs, Venus signs, all that other good stuff. That's just from an astrological view. But it's almost like, because you have a way to do it and you get success, and they can't match your energy or they can't match what you're doing, they feel like that's working against them, that they feel like that's an unfair advantage because you can do it and they can't. It's kind of like jealousy. I feel like it's a jealousy thing. This is coming in. This is causing an issue. So what exactly does Leo have to deal with? What do they have to deal with when it comes to this? It's probably a jealousy thing. I'm trying not to say that word for some reason, but I feel like it really is. Because you have your own way. You do things your own way. You have your own gifts, your own attributes. People are not happy. So it doesn't mean that everybody's unhappy, but the 3 of Cups came reversed, saying socially you're having issues. Socially, people are like getting in your way. They don't want anything to do with you. And the World card is coming in with this. It came up on the dice. Something has to change here. Whatever's going on here, it's either the job has to change to suit your needs, or you might have to go somewhere else. I don't know, because it's getting heavy, and the social pressure is really, really heavy. The social pressure is really heavy. I know that Leo could get through it, but it's like other people involved in this might succumb to the social pressure. So it's not just like you feeling that social pressure. It's people around you who normally support you feeling that social pressure. I do feel like you're going to feel like you're on the outside for a while. So the next phase of this, be it social, work, whatever it is, you're going to feel like you're on the outside for a while, and I feel like I can't get anybody to help me. I can't get anybody to work with me on this. If it's something where you can do it all yourself, you probably will. But if it's one of those things where, you're driving, we're going to use a delivery truck. If you're driving a truck somewhere and you need somebody to let you into the courtyard, they have to open up the gate and they're not willing to help you. You could try to drive through the gate, but that's not going to work. You're not going to get your outcome you need. But you know what I mean? If this is one of those social situations where you need people to cooperate with you, that could cause a big issue. The situation either has to evolve to match you, or I feel like you're going to have to go. Is that real? Are we sure? If this reading is hitting, it's one or the other. 7 of Swords coming in again. The Star card coming in reversed. Yeah, people are bent out of shape, and it's either the situation changes to match you, or I feel like I have to go somewhere else, because I'm getting that it's realizing that I don't think you did anything wrong, but there's such a wasteland here. So if you were a truck driver, for example, they have to move you into another position where you're allowed to do what you need to do, where the people who are angry are disconnected from you. I feel like it might be literally that bad. Or it's kind of like, all right, this place doesn't like it the way I do things, and it's become such a social issue. Maybe it's time for me to move and go somewhere else, and maybe find a promotion by finding another job somewhere else. Maybe that's going to be my version of promotion. This situation isn't working anymore. I'm kind of at a dead end because people are constantly in my way. Let me apply over here. Oh, they like me, or they're going to pay me more. I guess that's where I'm going. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt, because I get the Wheel of Fortune is all over the place on this one. A lot of crazy things going on with this one. Wheel of Fortune everywhere. In, out, half, full, all that stuff. Half effect, full effect, I should say. The Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune might be brutal, but it might bring you something else that you actually want. Not for nothing, there are places where Leo is not only welcome, but very much like, we want you here. It's not like you're just welcome, you're loved. And it's kind of like, if you're not loved and welcomed where you are, it's kind of like maybe you need to move somewhere where you are. You need to be in an environment where people see the gift that you are. You know what I mean? And the Emperor came up on the dice, which is very good for Leo. It's one, like getting what you want, but also it sometimes talks about Aries energy is usually very compatible with Leo. Very brutally honest, but also very compatible. I think one of the reasons, not only because you're fire signs, but because Leo will take the truth. Tell me the truth. You'll swallow it. You may not like it in the moment, but you'll get over it, and you'll evolve, and you'll keep going. And that's what Aries is like. Something new is coming in. It may be an opportunity that you're not seeing. It might have been there a while, but I get that I got faraway places with this. In the environment, you got an offer coming in, something very stable. With the fact that you got the Knight of Cups with the King of Pentacles, it might be very, very lucrative. More lucrative than normal. And I get that the far away is like, this is going to take you completely away from this situation. You might be completely disconnected from it. It's almost like going from financial situations into like, ergonomic situations. Like, you're in completely different worlds. It may be physically, literally location wise too, but it's like, whatever this is you're going into, like you were a truck driver and now you're going into like, nursing, just like completely different things. It could be, if it's like a work thing. I also get that whatever this is, the foundation is compatible and complementary to you. So like if you were going from being a truck driver into nursing or whatever, something like that, it's kind of like whatever you're going into in that field is so random and so crazy that even though it's stable that you're doing the same job, even though you're doing the same job every day, it's different every day. And it may be very suiting. It may very much suit you and give you the money and lifestyle that you're looking for. Anything else with that? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.